have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man to go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations, I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
In my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on their necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric
It's a cut on the gas, other one on their necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X to my jeans and I got... Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my Cubus.
All right, hello everyone, Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's see who is in here. And also, guys, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr_A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. And as per usual, if you don't like the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. Grumpy Knuckles says, I love this song, Gold in My Skin. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. And thank you for your contribution to the channel. All right, so let's get into it. One Muscle Power says, much love to you. You be putting it down. Just when you think there's no more information out there, you come with new research and receipts. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate those words. Okay, so with that all being said, let's get into it. All right, shout out to One Muscle Power, Pearly, True Snow is here. Okay, Desmond, Fat Boo. Oh my Goddess, TM, Stacy, Nessa G, Bobby Wright is here. Most Hated Bronze Flat Power God, Pearly. All right, all hell nah. Terry Hinton is here. Nessa G, Deronda, My Aunt Egypt, Hot Coco, Stacy Quentin, D. Okay, so let's get into it. Shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. And shout out to my moderators because y'all know they're putting in work. Okay, so listen, we're going to get this live done because I'm going to be live again later with your daily vitamins and it's going to get real nefarious real quick. Okay, so please pay attention. And so first things first, let's talk about Diddy. Because Diddy has a little win in court. Okay, he had a little win in court the other day, and I meant to tell you all this yesterday, but you know, I got caught up with receipts and it slipped my mind. Okay, so let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Okay, that's how you can show your appreciation for the channel for absolutely free. Okay, here we go. I think I'm going to put on a little music this morning. Hold on, guys. I'm in the mood for a melody. Please pay attention. Okay, so now here's what happened. So remember how I told you guys last week, I believe it was, that Diddy was complaining about his laptop, how he was not being able to access it, and they were basically trying to put him between a rock and a hard place, saying that, in fact, he could use the laptop, but they would make the timing. They would always try to make it during times where his attorneys were going to be there. So there was a conflict. So basically, he wasn't being able to use those privileges, which he's supposed to absolutely have, okay, according to their policy. So this is what the judge says. Order as to Sean Combs. The court is in receipt of defendant's application regarding discovery laptop access and defendant's attorney visitation forms. Now, this is from docket 95. Having reviewed the party submissions, the court orders as follows. 1, the MDC is ordered not to turn over defendant's attorney visitation forms to the government. Because remember, that's one of the things Mark Agnifilo and Alexandra Shapiro were complaining about, that they're just, you know, basically reporting everything to the government and even their visitation forms and all of that, and they didn't like it. So the judge is telling them not to keep doing that, okay, to stop it. Now, the MDC is ordered to give defendant access to the discovery laptop 7 days per week from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Now, this can be in his unit's visitation room or in his unit's VTC room. Okay, the third thing is the purpose of the discovery laptop is a review discovery, not to take or store notes. Okay, it is the court's understanding that the laptop has been preloaded with discovery materials, discovery materials
but does not allow any functionality beyond, excuse me, guys, I'm losing my voice, but does not allow any functionality beyond reviewing those materials. Now, if defendant wishes for broader access to the Discovery laptop, his counsel should discuss the issue with the government, which should consider any reasonable proposals in good faith and work with BOP counsel and MDC staff to effectuate them. If there are further disputes, the court will consider. Okay, and that is signed by Judge Aaron Subramanian. He signed this on yesterday. So Diddy's going to get to use his laptop so he can get the discovery and all of that, you know, as they had previously denied him. But they're going to make for darn sure that Diddy's not on there watching or doing anything he's not supposed to be doing, because only the discovery information is supposed to be stored on there. Okay, so I'm sure he's pretty happy about that, because that was one of his main complaints. So now let's get into this information about Diddy and Jay-Z. But before we get into that, let's talk about Ellen. Because as I told you all a couple of weeks ago, Ellen and Portia have fled the U.S. and gone to the U.K. Now, they want to say that it's because of Trump, but they literally said they were never coming back. I scarcely think it has anything to do with Trump and more to do with Diddy and these nefarious allegations that are all coming forward. A lot of people seem to be doing strange things. Let's not forget that I told you on yesterday that they're saying LeBron James is supposed to be stepping away from basketball. Denzel said he's retiring after the last 5 movies that he's been working on. He comes out and tells us he's been shooting up dope, abusing alcohol. All of this stuff is coming out in the wash. I just want you all to pay attention, okay? I want you all to pay attention. Everything is coming to the forefront. And so anyway, apparently Ellen's home over there in the UK, her and Portia de Rossi, it flooded. So Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi may be missing their California digs more than ever this week. Their new property in the UK has been flooded again. So this isn't the first time. Now, Ellen and Portia moved to Southwest England weeks after Donald Trump was reelected, okay, in the United States in an apparent protest. Please sit down somewhere. Do y'all really believe this? Once in the chat if you all believe it, because you don't have to believe the Queen. You don't have to go along with me. Once in the chat if you literally think that they moved to the UK because of Trump. I mean, they could have. I'm just speculating that I think it's because of Diddy. I'm just speculating. Nobody thinks so? Hotep Sahadi said the so-called stars are falling. Fat Boo says, puts a 1, okay. Most people are not believing it. Curtis says yes. Okay, some of y'all think they moved because of Trump. I don't believe it. I absolutely don't believe it. Okay, I think that it's something shady going on with that. But let me continue. That's just my opinion. Okay, so anyway, goes on to say that they moved over there in apparent protest. They have been living in Montecito, California for years, but are looking forward to selling that property. And now we're getting a first look at their new British estate. So this week, the region was inundated with rain, and the Cotswold village where they lived was hit by flash floods. Okay, so the flood water surrounded their mansion, as well as the 43 acres around it that they own. You know, I'm sorry, but this sounds like karma to me. This sounds like the Most High telling them, guess what? You can run, but you can't hide. Okay? I see you, Ellen. And that's what it sounds like to me. Now, there are no strangers to inclement weather. Last year, torrential rains in Southern California flooded their Montecito property, which also affected nearby neighbors like Oprah Winfrey, even prompting evacuations in the area. Yeah, you know, let's not forget how Oprah was over there in Maui, okay, when those people had all that stuff going on over there. And her land, all that land that she bought, seemed to have gone untouched. And then her and Rock sit up there asking us for money, okay, to help the people that were affected by the travesty. But all this money that they have, and Oprah's got billions, and they want us to give money? Like, Oprah, sit down somewhere, okay? Now, the celebrity couple has been frequently spotted around their English town, visiting local pubs and cafes. We recently saw them enjoying a cozy concert by the Coors in one tavern, along with singers Natalie Imbruglia, I hope I said her name right, and James Blunt. And barely 2 weeks ago, their Cotswolds estate was hit with a huge weather system that flooded the area in dramatic fashion. They were dragging floods that disseminated the area along with 80-mile-per-hour winds. Okay, so there you have it. There you have it. Okay, so anyway, Cypher says the diddler and the jiggler. Absolutely. Okay, so now let's get into this and talk about what Superhead had to say. Let's first see what she had to say about Diddy. And by the way, for those of you who don't know her nickname that she was known by back in the day, her name is Karrine Steffans. And now she calls herself Elizabeth something. But anyway, I know about Superhead, so that's what I'm going to call her. And now she calls herself Elizabeth Ovesine. I guess that's her real name. So when she was in her 20s, she went by a different name. Known in the hip-hop industry as Karrine Steffans, she started her career as a model before going on to star in over 20 music videos as a dancer. She worked with LL Cool J and Mystical, along with controversial singer R. Kelly. Now, in her later years, Steffans shed light on her negative experiences in the industry and her popular Vixen book series, beginning with Confessions of a Video Vixen in 2005. Now, in the books, she opened up about her romantic relationships with famous men, including Jay-Z, DMX, Vin Diesel, Lil Wayne, Method Man, and Bill Maher. So Steffans also had a brief relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. Fresh off a breakout role starred in Jay-Z's $1 Million music video for Hey Poppy, Steffans was introduced to Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy. Now, she claims that in February of 2001, when she was just 22 years old, she was gifted to Diddy. Okay, please pay attention. She was gifted to him, okay, who had just broken up with Jennifer Lopez. She says, in retrospect, I realized that I was given to him as a gift by another executive. She first encountered Diddy at a nightclub at 3 a.m. He asked who I was, and the men spoke for me, she recalls, referring to Murder Inc. record boss Irv Gotti and rapper Ja Rule. She says, right there in front of me, Diddy and Gotti made arrangements to send me to Diddy's house in an hour. It was 4 a.m. when I turned up at Diddy's home in my SUV. There were security guards in the driveway, all dressed in dark suits with their hands in front of them. They had been expecting me, she says. Now, the things went on when Gotti and I were together. The things that went on when Gotti and I were together are almost unimaginable to me now. But in the haze of drugs and liquor, it all seemed all right. I was being used over and over again. There was man after man, all friends and acquaintances of Gotti's. I quickly became Gotti's showpiece. He would turn other people in the industry onto me. I was his party favor. Now, I want you all to pay attention to this, honey, because she specifically says party favor. Now, that's the same thing. What's the young woman's name? Allie Carter? That's what she calls it. Party favors. She says, whenever there was anyone Gotti wanted to impress, he would send me to them and I'd take care of them. At the time of their encounter, Diddy was at the forefront of the $1 million look. Okay, she remembers, she says she remembers this. And so when she was asked to go to his house, she saw it as an opportunity. Gotti was like, send her to my house. And that was it. I got the order to go to his house, and that was the first time he and I spent time. Now, she described her first sexual encounter with the music mogul. After a few minutes, Diddy greeted me and led me to the nearest bedroom, she says. With that slight formality out of the way, Diddy and I spent the next 15 minutes engaging in the usual. After the experience, he said, "You're the best one." I guess that's how she got her name. But anyway, I digress. I said the same thing to him, which in actuality, he was average. At one of Diddy's notorious parties at his mansion on Miami Star Island, she described an environment fueled by drugs and alcohol. You choose your pill, you take your champagne, and that's your vibe for the night, she said. It's effing intense. Now, in one moment, she said that Diddy once warned the rapper Exhibit that she was the type of woman who would have you on tape with fingers in your back door. So, I mean, why would Diddy say that? Why would he feel the need to warn Exhibit about that, Diddy? Why would you say it? It sounds to me like she put her fingers in Diddy's back door. That's and then maybe recorded him, or at least he thought she did. That's what it sounds like. Now, of course, I'm speculating. So she says that was so weird. It was so weird. Okay, an exhibit thought it was weird, but she goes on to say she made it clear that she didn't suffer abuse at the hands of Diddy. I was not one of his victims, and his victims deserve the space and time to discuss what happened in those rooms. In response to the video of Diddy attacking his then girlfriend Cassandra Cassie Ventura, she said she could recognize that behavior. She says it was very triggering, and I knew exactly what that was. Men who hate women, men who hate who they are, who can't admit to their sexuality, who are pretending to be straight when they're not, and they hate women. They don't love women. Most of them want to be women, and they can't, and they hate us. They beat us early and often. Now, she goes on to say she did an interview when Diddy was arrested on September the 16th, okay, on the sex trafficking and racketeering charges. They say in the years since her days fronting some of hip-hop's biggest music videos, she's dedicated her life to spreading awareness around the murkier side of the industry while empowering women to come forward. One thing about those tables is they're going to turn. And honestly, it's women who will turn them. I have no message for men. My message is for women. More women need to tell their stories as loudly and as often as possible. Trust me, you will survive. You will make it through. And you will come out stronger and vindicated in the end. All right, so that's what you said about Diddy. Said that these men who want to be women, they hate women. And they beat them often. Didn't I tell you all the same thing? Didn't I, in fact, tell you all exactly the same thing? Because it's absolutely true. Okay, this is absolutely true, as far as I'm concerned. Miss J said, sounds like she knows something. Honey, I'll bet you she knows a whole lot. Okay, I'll bet you she knows a whole lot. But so anyway, now let's get into what she had to say about Jay-Z. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to put the likes up. And before we get into it, let me have a word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
And don't forget, you can purchase 12 Tribes for your hair at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts, and you can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, so now let's talk about Jay-Z. She said about Jay-Z and these allegations that none of this is shocking. Now, an author and former video vixen who says that she had sex with Jay-Z and appeared in one of his videos has spoken out about the bombshell allegation that he raped a 13-year-old. Now, Elizabeth Oversteen's memoir, Video Vixen, chronicled hip-hop's underground world of sex and drugs and cast an unflattering light on some of its biggest names. She now says that the allegations against Jay-Z, which he has furiously denied, were part of a larger pattern, telling the Daily Beast that it was a consequence of the Me Too movement. She said none of this is shocking, and it's all part of the same movement. Okay, she basically says it's all part of the same movement and that it's going to be a chain reaction. I'm not sure why people are separating this wave of Black music execs and artists from the original hashtag Me Too investigations and arrest. You know, from Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and hundreds in between. They're all connected, she says. Jay-Z has fiercely denied a civil lawsuit that claims that he participated in the rape of a 13-year-old with Diddy at a party following the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards, describing them as blackmail attempts. Now, when news of the lawsuit broke on December the 8th, the rapper promptly responded in a fiery statement posted to Instagram. So I'm not going to read the statement, of course. We've heard it numerous of times by now. Now, Karrine Steffans, who was 21 years old, appeared in Jay-Z's music video for his 2000 hit song, Hey Poppy. She then went on to share in her book that she had a relationship with the Rock Nation mogul, whose real name is Sean Carter, and more famous names in hip-hop social circles, including being gifted to embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. She said, they all know the same people with few degrees of separation between them. They have the same handlers, go to the same parties, share each other's jets, yachts, and islands, and they abide by the same lawless code. What we've seen lately with P. Diddy and now Jay-Z isn't different from this, isn't a different set of events. She says that she believes there are still hundreds more men to be accused and found guilty and who will fall. And that's not including the women who helped them. Now, she says Ghislaine Maxwell wasn't the only one. With society finally understanding the basic definitions of sexual, physical, and emotional coercion and abuse, I hope to see more abusive men and women in this and all industries being held accountable. Now, in the lawsuit, the unnamed plaintiff alleged that she tried to get into the VMAs and was denied entry. She claims a limousine driver working for Diddy later approached her with an offer to attend an after party with numerous celebrity guests. Let me tell you all something. You see, this is what I was telling you all weeks ago. That these people who aided and abetted, allegedly aided and abetted Diddy in his nefariousness, such as this limo driver, what's he doing out here? Okay? What's he doing out here recruiting for Diddy? Because that's what he was doing, absolutely. How many times did he do it? I'm sure it wasn't just at the 2000 VMAs. How many minors did he take to Diddy for him to do things to, allegedly? I just would like to know. See, these people need to be called out also. They need to be exposed. They should not be allowed to just skirt away and get away and go scot-free after they've allegedly done such things, specifically if these things are found to be true. Because you have to ask yourself, what kind of people are they? And when all of these people that have come out lately and talking about, oh, I left early, I didn't do this, that, and the third, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it, because a lot of them know exactly what's going on. And like Superhead says, that these people float around in the same circles, share each other's yachts. They know the same people and all these things. So quite frankly, you should ask yourselves, if we heard these things about some of these celebrities for decades, we've been hearing some of these things ourselves. So if we have been hearing these things, do you not think that they too knew what was going on? I mean, of course, they heard more than we did. They literally probably saw all of this stuff going on. One Muscle Power said they all need to be held accountable. Yes, they absolutely do. Just a pack of demons. Okay? Just a pack of demons. And, I know that some of these other names that may come out are going to shock and surprise some people. But here's the thing. I don't think any of us should be surprised by now. At this point, there should be no more surprises left in the bag. At this point, whoever gets called out next, we should absolutely not be shocked. Because after Denzel came out and told us that he kissed a man, that he was shooting up dope, that he was drinking 2 bottles of wine a day for years, after he came out and said all that, I was done. Because Denzel has had a spotless record for the 40 years that he's been in the industry. And all of a sudden now, he's putting this stuff out there himself. Like I told you guys, damage control. Let me say it for myself before everybody else says it, before it comes out. Or in case I get accused in any of the things that happened pertaining to Diddy, and so I can just blame it on the drugs and alcohol. Hey, I was on dope. I was shooting up. I'm just saying this is all real crazy. These people are a big disappointment to some people. Some people are really shocked and appalled and just really in their feelings. Deronda said, I bet Denzel was drinking that Taylor port wine. I am so done with you. Truth Over Everything says Professor Griffin spoke on Jay-Z and Diddy and even J-Lo. He said if it's true and they were there, they all need to pay for the permanent trauma inflicted on the abuse. Absolutely. Of course they should. Okay, of course they should. And Professor Griffin's been speaking on them for a long time. Absolutely. Mr. Elevation says Denzel put it out to lessen the blow. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, beloved. Damage control. I absolutely believe that's why he put it out. Okay, because why would you be sitting for telling all this stuff? Nobody asked him for this information. He just volunteered it. Okay, he just put this out there. We didn't ask for it. We didn't have any knowledge of it. And so anyway, it goes on to talk about the young lady who's now suing, who claims that she was 13, how she escaped and all of that, which we know the rest because we've literally read the lawsuit. Okay, going through that. So, and here's the thing. Now, allegedly, remember these allegations about Tony Busby's law firm, about them being accused by Jay-Z and his team of trying to pay, people to add Diddy and Jay-Z to the stories and all that stuff, when the woman supposedly had another lawsuit against other celebrities, but it had nothing to do with Jay-Z and Diddy. And they said that, they were trying to coerce her into saying it was Jay-Z and Diddy. Well, that is very interesting because, like I told you guys, Tony Busby says he literally has recordings. And I read you some of the transcripts from the recordings where this investigator, I think it was more than one investigators, were supposedly calling Tony Busby's clients, past and present, and then offering them money. Okay, offering them money to try to sue Tony Busby or do things to besmirch his character. And then, but now, here's the kicker. I'm going to have to go with Tony Busby on this and believe him rather than Jay-Z's team. Because remember I told you guys that when Jay-Z said that statement, when he put out that statement, it seems to me as though it were a thinly veiled threat. Okay, like it was a thinly veiled threat. And also, it has come to my attention that allegedly the young man, Ramir Sway, who's claiming that he may be possibly Jay-Z's son, well, supposedly he and his family have received similar threats. Okay, and harassments, allegedly. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. I'm going to play a portion of the interview that he did with Liz Crokin. But before we talk about that, let's get into this because they say that Jay-Z and Tony Busby have been playing a game of chicken. I don't know if any of you, if you all know what the game chicken is. If you're not from the South, you probably don't, but I digress. Okay. So let's talk about it. Likes up. Everyone, please like and share. Letitia says, I cannot watch them on the movie screen. They'll make me sick. I know, right? After we find out these things, and start hearing all this stuff, it's like just low vibrational. At this point, it's like triggering and it is sickening, just as you said, beloved. Okay, just as you said. Hot Mess Equines just became a YouTube member. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Okay. So with that all being said, and Gerald D. McCain, thank you, beloved, for gifting a membership to the channel. I'm sorry I missed that. Thank you. You all shout her out because she just gifted a membership. I appreciate you, Geraldine, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to both of you. Okay, so now let's continue. There you go. Now let's continue because this is all real crazy. Okay, Skoda says, in my early 20s, me and my friend were invited to hang with Jay-Z in the studio. I got a really bad feeling and said no and convinced my friend not to go. I told her what he will expect from us. I'm glad you had discernment, beloved, and didn't go because there's no telling what would happen. What would have happened, okay? Brand Slayer TV says very low vibrational. Absolutely. Okay, so anyway, listen. Let's talk about this game of chicken that Jay-Z and Tony Busby are allegedly playing. And for those of you, like I said, who don't know what that is, if you're not from the South, you may not. It's like a game where people would get in two vehicles. Okay, people would get in two vehicles and tie their shoelace to the brakes, right? Or to the gas. And then drive towards each other. Just keep driving towards each other until one of them will get scared enough to just give up. I mean, how crazy is it? But, that's what people do in the country when they had nothing else to do, I guess. But anyway, let's get into it. So Jay-Z has publicly named in a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, or he was publicly named in a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, weeks after the initial filing, raising questions about the legal moves that went down behind closed doors. Now, the lawsuit accused Jay-Z and Diddy of raping a 13-year-old in 2000. Okay, we're going to skip past all that. I don't want to be repetitive so much. Now they say things have escalated. Orange County criminal defense lawyer Lauren Johnson Norris told Fox News Digital as the back and forth between, she said things have escalated as the back and forth between Jay-Z's legal team and Texas-based attorney Tony Busby now plays out before the public eyes. Saying that Sean Diddy Combs was first accused of this incident while celebrities watched, and this was in October. The lawsuit was filed in the Southern District of New York on October the 20th by Tony Busby on behalf of Jane Doe. The unidentified woman ended up at the party, or an after party. Now, she claimed that she was given a drink and got woozy. Okay, we're going to skip past all that. And then they talk about Jay-Z's his statement when he's talking about his lawyer was being blackmailed, received a blackmail letter and tried to extort him. Like I keep telling you guys, Tony Busby didn't even ask for any money, so it's not blackmail or extortion. Okay. Now the decision to eventually publicly name Jay-Z was likely due to a failure to settle the case. That's what a legal expert said. Well, it wasn't just the fact that he refused to settle the case. Here's what the reason was. Now, I know this person's a legal expert, but at the end of the day, the real reason that the case was filed against Jay-Z is because he dared, to file something suing Tony Busby under John Doe. That was the whole thing right there. Not just that he wouldn't settle, but the nerve of him, as far as Tony Busby was likely thinking, that you're going to come out and try to sue me? You're going to try to come for me? So, because remember, it's already been revealed that Jay-Z was, in fact, the person who filed that lawsuit under John Doe, the high-profile person. Now, Jay-Z may have decided that settling the case would suggest to the public that he was somehow involved in the sexual assault of a minor. Okay, this is what Robert D. Groot, founding partner of the law firms or the law offices of Robert J. D. Groot. That's what he says. He says, after receiving a demand letter, Jay-Z and his legal team probably pushed back against the plaintiff's accusations and may have tried to convince her counsel to not proceed with naming him as a defendant. Now, the plaintiff's attorney probably made a decision to proceed against Jay-Z after it became apparent that he would not settle the case. Each side engages in a metaphoric game of chicken to see who can push the boundary further in an attempt to get the opposite side to bend to their wishes. Well, of course, that's what they're doing. But here's another thing. Like I told you guys, one of the reasons, in my opinion, that Jay-Z wasn't going to settle that under any stretch of anyone's imagination is because he saw how that played out for Diddy. He saw that after Diddy filed or settled that lawsuit with Cassie within less than 24 hours, that the floodgates opened and more lawsuits just started popping up out of the woodwork. And Jay-Z definitely didn't want that to happen to him. So, of course, he wasn't going to settle. And under the circumstances, if that had been me, I wouldn't have either. So before Jay-Z was named publicly in the lawsuit accusing him and Sean Diddy Combs of rape, he sued his accuser's lawyer as celebrity John Doe. That's what did it right there. Tony Busby was not having any of it, okay? Now, on November the 18th, the lawyers filed a lawsuit against Busby. Since then, Jay-Z confirmed that he was the plaintiff in the anonymous lawsuit. Well, he had no choice but to confirm it because Tony Busby already came out and told us it was him. Okay, Tony Busby confirmed it first. Now, plaintiff presently faces a gun to the head. That's what the court document obtained by Fox says. Jay-Z's team claimed that Busby and the anonymous accuser had demanded the rapper either repeatedly pay an exorbitant sum of money to stop defendants from the wide publication of wildly false allegations of assault that would subject Jay-Z to opprobrium and irreparable harm, to his reputation, his family, his career, and his livelihood, or else face the threat of an untold number of civil suits and financial personal ruin. While Jay-Z accused Busby of extortion, legal experts claimed demand letters are typical in these types of cases, saying that it's standard for these types of letters to be sent before filing a case or including a defendant in a case. Okay, this is what John Norris says. Now, if a case can settle outside of the court, that usually benefits everyone involved. It's not extortion, but it can feel like it to the defendant, especially if the ask is high. And by that, they mean the settlement. Now, the tone of these letters may vary. Given the high profile nature of Jay-Z and having a sense that it would be leaked to the press, Mr. Busby is starting his litigation spin as early as possible to get the attention of Jay-Z to influence potential jurors. And so, of course, we know Jay-Z was added to the lawsuit on December the 8th. The amended complaint was also filed by Tony Busby. He named the rap mogul as Celebrity A initially. Now, in the new version of the lawsuit, the 13-year-old became disoriented and found a bedroom to rest in after allegedly consuming one drink. Jay-Z, Diddy, and a female Celebrity B seemingly followed the girl into the room. She immediately recognized all celebrities around, according to the court document. Now, here's what I want you all to pay attention to. Hold on. Jay-Z allegedly raped the girl, followed by Diddy allegedly raping the plaintiff, and while Celebrity B watched. So here's what I want you all to pay attention to. Remember when we were trying to figure out who Celebrity B is? Okay, it's a woman, clearly. But remember when I told you guys that now that we know Jay-Z has been added to the mix, that it could be Beyonce or J-Lo. Well, I think that it's possibly not Beyonce, because this was in 2000. Jay-Z and Beyonce didn't really announce that they were dating until around 2001, even though he met her prior. Okay, even though he met her prior. Let me address a comment that was just in the chat. I just blocked this person for foolishness. Hip Hop Global said that my eyes look like I drink all day. Well, I don't drink at all. And the reason my eyes look this way is because they have melanin in them. Okay, it's a common thing with darker skinned Black people. Okay, that as you get older, the whites of your eyes may start to take on a hint of brownness because of the melanin. Okay, so I'm sorry that you don't know that. And I hope that you're not Black, because if you're Black, you don't know that. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, don't come in here trying to hate on the queen, honey. Don't come here trying to hate on the queen. Now, you can't hurt my feelings, because first of all, people that I don't know and give zero F's about definitely don't bother me, okay? I mean, is that the best you can do for an insult? Please have several seats. One Muscle Power said people be hating. I mean, exactly. Are they that pressed because I'm reporting on Jay-Z and Diddy? Okay, it's all so crazy. Izama Liza, I hope I said your name right, beloved, says you are beautiful. That person is jealous. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Mr. Elevation said the queen is petty and she will roast you. You know that I will, but I'm not even going to roast him today. I'm just going to continue on because people love to cause distractions. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, goes on to say these allegations are so heinous in nature. This is what Jay-Z was saying. I implore you to file a criminal complaint. Jay-Z, please sit down somewhere. I'm going to call your bluff because you know darn well there's no criminal complaint going to be filed. Okay, so anyway, goes on to say that since that person's participation appears to be that of a witness, her status is entirely different unless there is a legal reason. Okay, and they're talking about the celebrity person, Celebrity B. Oh, and what I was saying is I don't think it was Beyonce. I think, now this is just my opinion, and this person is innocent, presumed innocent until further noted, but I think it was J-Lo. I absolutely think it was J-Lo. I mean, Rodney Jones, aka Lil Rod, said that J-Lo allegedly, and he says he was told this by Diddy, is the one who carried that gun into the club in 1999 for Diddy. So if you're carrying guns into clubs for people, and I'm not saying that you did, but that's been alleged, but if that is true, well, what else would you do for this person? Okay, I have several questions, and let's not forget that I already proved to you all, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I showed you all the receipts that that J-Lo was absolutely with Diddy that night. And I even showed you the pictures of them arguing that same night, but then it was said that she allegedly still left with him. Okay, so that's who I think Celebrity B is, honey. J-Lo, you might be going down, honey. And I'm going to tell you why I further think J-Lo has some dirt on her. Why I further think that J-Lo is running scared and has dirt on her is because remember a few months ago when she had that TikToker who was reporting on her, she had that poor woman's stuff taken down. Remember that? And then the poor woman couldn't afford her cancer treatment medications because she was getting paid on TikTok. That boo said, yes, you did, Queen. Thank you, beloved. I remember she had that woman's channel taken down, and now that woman is dead. That is just low down and dirty. Now, I don't know why she felt the need to have her channel taken down because there's a whole bunch of people talking about J-Lo, okay? So anyway, let me continue. So Celebrity B is undoubtedly in communication with Busby through a lawyer. Okay, this is what Johnson Norris says. She will want to cooperate in the case and distinguish herself from Diddy and Jay-Z since she was a witness and not a perpetrator. Now, based on all we know so far, it is also possible she too was a victim. Oh, no. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. That's what we're not going to do, Mr. Norris. Do you know J-Lo? Is that your friend or something? Do y'all hear this? She possibly is a victim too. No, the hell Celebrity B is not. And you know why they're not? Because they're a celebrity. Because they're a celebrity. That's what we're not going to do. No, he didn't. I believe that he thinks it's J-Lo and he's trying to defend her. That's just what I think. Now, I could be wrong. But he's sitting up here saying she may possibly be a victim. Well, if she was, why didn't she come forward? Why hasn't she said anything? And even after Diddy has gotten busted, okay, and thrown in jail amongst a myriad of allegations and lawsuits, why hasn't she come forward to speak on behalf of the victims? And if she is a victim, that would be even more of a reason to speak. Sit down somewhere, Mr. Norris. Okay, you're not about to change this narrative because whoever Celebrity B is, whomever it is, J-Lo or otherwise, that person is guilty because they watched a crime be committed and they did nothing. Okay, so you convinced me with that, sir. Talking about she may be a victim. That's laughable, okay? That is absolutely nefarious. You mean to tell me somebody who watched a 13-year-old have this happen to them, allegedly, they're a victim? A victim of what? Victim of what? Because the young woman who filed the lawsuit who said this happened when she was 13, she didn't say that they did anything nefarious to that person. She didn't say that she saw them threatening her, beating her, or doing anything, raping her, or doing anything to her. She said the person sat there and watched. She didn't just sit there and watch once. She watched twice, according to the lawsuit. She watched when Jay-Z did it, allegedly, and then again, allegedly, when Diddy did it. So I'm sorry. At what point was she forced to stay there? She couldn't have gotten up and left. She didn't have the ability to leave. It was a house full of people, lest we forget, because they said that when the 13-year-old ran and fled from the scene, she ran through a bunch of people that were still there partying. And none of them helped her. They should all be in jail, as far as I'm concerned. They saw an unclothed teenager fleeing, clearly in distress, and nobody acted like anything was strange or abnormal. Nobody stopped to say, hey, are you okay? What's going on? This is absolute insanity. Okay, this is absolute insanity. That is not a victim. Okay, that is not a victim. That is absolutely not a victim. And let me tell you all something, because this reminds me of something that happened to me just days ago. And I wasn't even going to talk on this, but let me just say this. Okay, so the other day, you guys, One Muscle Power said disgusting. Absolutely. Let me tell you how you know that person's not a victim. Because here's the thing. Like I said, anybody who saw that child fleeing out of there, and somebody saw her, okay? More than one person, multiple people had to have seen her running through there unclothed, heading for the door. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. How people try to paint narratives. But let me say this. So the other day, I was sitting at home, doing some research, and I heard a knock on my door, on my back door. And I'm thinking, who's banging on my door like that? Because they were banging hard. So I go to the door, and it is a woman standing there in distress, wearing nothing but her underwear, a bra, and panties. It's raining and cold outside. Remember the day that I was live and I told you guys that it was storming here and I may have technical difficulties? It was that day. Now I want you all to pay attention, because this is what you do when you see someone in distress. And so I was talking on my phone. I had just answered the phone before she knocked on the door. And so I'm on the phone with my friend, and I go to the door. This woman standing there in her bra and underwear. And she says to me, can you please call the police? And I said, oh my God, are you okay? And I said, you want to use my phone to call them? And she says, yes. And so I gave her the phone, and I said, let me go get you something to put on. So I go, and she's bigger than me, so I knew she probably couldn't fit my clothes, but I had like these lounging dresses that I wear, like one size fits all. So I went and got her from my closet a lounging dress for her to put on. And I'm asking her, are you okay? And she said, yeah. She's like, my boyfriend's acting crazy. Okay, so then I come back in the house to get something, and I go back and look, and she's gone. And I'm like, where did she go? So I go out the door looking for her. And then I see her tussling with this guy. Okay. She's trying to get her things out of the car, and he's like tussling with her. And she's like, let me just get my stuff. Let me get my stuff. And so there is a huge dog. It's a pit bull. And honey, I'm scared of pit bulls. Okay. I'm usually scared of pit bulls, but I didn't even think about being scared of that pit bull that day. And so the guy's like trying to stop her from getting her things, and she's trying to grab him. He's pulling one way. And I'm like, sir. And I got between the middle and I said, sir, stop it right now. Get away from her. I'm going to call the police. And he looks at me, and then he gets his dog. He's like, Coco, come on. And so he gets the dog, and they get in the car and they drive away. Now, mind you, she's called the police. She's telling them what's happening, all of this. Another neighbor comes, and says that she saw them on the Ring door cam. Because obviously the woman knocked on her door first. Okay, knocked on her door first, and nobody answered. Now this other woman comes out, and she's like, what's going on? She asked the lady, are you okay? She says, I saw y'all fighting on my Ring door cam. And she was like, yeah, I knocked on your door, but nobody answered. And then so I came to her door. So we stand there, comforting this woman or whatever. And then when the police get there, and there was about 5 police that showed up, because anytime it's a domestic, Juju said, did she leave your phone? Well, she had the phone when she was talking to the guy. Yeah, she did have it. But I wasn't thinking about that. But so anyway, long story short, we stayed there with her till the police came. And then it turns out the guy had crashed her car because they had some type of app on the phone where it lets you know if the car has been crashed or whatever, some type of impact. And so her cousin came by. She had called her cousin from my phone, and her cousin comes and says that she got an alert on her phone that in fact the car had been crashed or whatever. It was just all real messy. Okay, it was all real messy at the end of the day. And so the bottom line is, that's what you do when you see somebody in distress. You try to help them. You at least ask them, are they okay? Do you need me to call 911? Is there anything I can do for you? You don't sit there and watch, is all I'm saying. You don't sit there and watch. It's just all crazy. Okay, so anyway, Desmond says Mary J. Blige. Okay, that could be a possibility, beloved. That could be a possibility. And thank you for the donation to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Yeah, it could have been Mary J. Blige, but I think if I had to choose, I'd go with J-Lo. Now, of course, I don't know, but that's who I believe it was. That's just who I believe it was. Now, we already know that Mary is allegedly shady, too, because Daddy Boy already said that he was having things going down with her when he was 15 and 16 years old. I told you all that over a year ago. Okay, I told you that all a year ago. See, all of these people, it's just real crazy how these people who hang out together just get into all the nefariousness. And I want you all to pay attention to something, because I actually think that they're in some sort of little, I'm not going to say a cult. Yeah, I will call it that. They might want to call it a secret society or whatever. But at the end of the day, these people are tied together. It's like a blood oath. Remember what I showed you guys on yesterday? Let me see if I still have it. Remember what I showed you guys on yesterday? Look at that. Diddy's tattoo. Look at Dave Bautista's tattoo. Look at Chris Rock's tattoo. What the hell's going on here? Okay. They all walking around here with the same tattoos. What's up with that? What's up with that? If you missed the broadcast that I did yesterday, okay, please go back and watch both of those broadcasts. You'll find them very interesting, I'm sure. Okay, the one about Basquiat, and well, they're both about Basquiat, really, along with Diddy and Jay-Z. So anyway, this is all real crazy, but let me continue. Not saying that she might be a victim. This is all so crazy. So anyway, goes on to say, of course, Jay-Z demanded to know the woman's, her identification and all of that, trying to put the woman in the hot seat, trying to make her expose who she is. But the funny thing is, Jay-Z, while you're sitting up here trying to make this woman disclose her identity, you didn't even want to disclose yours. Sir, you sued under a whole synonym, Mr. John Doe. Okay, that's what he did. And let me just bring this to you all's mind. Let me just bring this to the forefront, because I find this all interesting. Y'all ever thought about Jay-Z's lyrics in his songs? Let's get into it. Because Jay-Z, are you telling on yourself in your songs? Because I just have to ask myself, what kind of mindsets of a person causes them to write such vile lyrics? Okay, I find it absolutely egregious, but let's talk about it. Because there is a song called Monster featuring Kanye, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, and Nicki Minaj. And Bon Iver, I think is the guy's name. But Jay-Z's the third verse. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you to best. So listen to this. Sasquatch, Godzilla, King Kong, Loch Ness, Goblin Ghoul, a zombie with no conscience. Question, what do these all have in common? Everybody knows I'm an MFing monster. Conquer, stop your silly nonsense. None of you ninjas know where the swamp is. None of you ninjas have seen the carnage that I've seen. I still hear fiends scream in my dreams. Yeah, Jay-Z, we know how you get down. Now listen to this part. This is the part I want you to pay attention to. Murder in black convertibles. Killer block. I murder the avenues. I grape and pillage your village, women and children. What? Jay-Z, did you just say? Let me repeat that. Killer block, I murder the avenues. I grape and pillage your village, women and children. Everybody wants to know what my Achilles heel is. Love, I don't get enough of it. All I get is these vampires and bloodsuckers. Didn't I tell y'all about the vampirism? Didn't I tell you all about the blood stuff and all that? Didn't I tell you all that? Y'all think it's a game? Y'all think it's a game? This is in his lyrics. Now, where do you think this comes from? I'm going to tell you where it comes from. Because at the end of the day, people don't say these kinds of things just out of thin air, okay? People don't say these kinds of things just out of thin air. I promise you they don't. Me being a poet myself, me being someone who raps myself, I write what's in my heart and what's in my mind and things that I've seen and things that I know and things that I've done. Okay? And sometimes the devils tell on themselves in their own lyrics. Now, who would say that? Who would say that? Okay? I'll pillage your village, grape, women and children? Now, that didn't age well. That didn't age well at all. And let's not forget, yesterday, I read to you a myriad of Jay-Z's other lyrics, okay? And let's not forget that he has a song called Lucifer. He has a song called Lucifer. Let's not forget that. Let's also not forget how the pastor that time played one of his songs backwards and it literally said, murder, murder, Jesus, 666. I just want you all to pay attention, okay? I just want you all to pay attention. And please go back and watch, if you missed it, the video that I did about Jay-Z's affinity for Aleister Crowley and the lady known as the Hollywood witch, Marina Abramovich. Okay? Please pay attention. See his shirt? And we're going to talk about some crazy stuff later when I come back on here. But anyway, I just wanted you all to know that. If you weren't listening, if you didn't pay attention, if you missed it somehow, those are his lyrics. And I find it absolutely egregious. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about this. So the Jay-Z allegation once again reveals a culture of impunity in hip-hop. Jay-Z's condescending response to the accusation that he and Diddy raped a 13-year-old girl is troubling and telling. Now, it's been a rough year for prominent men in hip-hop as a tidal wave of accountability continues to sweep the industry. The fallout from Sean Diddy Combs' arrest continues to dredge up even more alleged horror stories. This time, it's Jay-Z who's in the hot seat for an amended lawsuit filed in federal court this week, alleging that he and Diddy took turns raping an unnamed 13-year-old girl during the VMAs after party that Diddy hosted in 2000. Diddy and Jay-Z, of course, denied the accusations. As unsurprising as some have found the accusations, given the pair's decades-long friendship and Jay-Z's own eyebrow-raising alleged history with much younger women, Jay-Z's response to the lawsuit and the blowback from his supporters is a stunning display of the culture of silence and complicity in hip-hop, which continues to harm women and girls. Well, no lies detected. And like Superhead, Karrine Steffans, like she said, Okay? Like she said, okay? It's a culture of this stuff that's going on. It's a culture of it. Many of these people are all in it together. And anyone trying to, get upset because people are exposing them, calling them out, or reporting on it, you're just ridiculous. Because if you think that we shouldn't call them out because they're black like us, you're an idiot. Because the people that are accusing them, most of those people are black like us. So make that make sense. Okay? Make that make sense. Now, Jay-Z isn't a newcomer to rumors about inappropriate relationships with minors. For years, speculation about the timelines and natures of his relationships with Foxy Brown, Aaliyah, and eventually Beyonce, all of whom are significantly younger than Jay-Z and were in fact teenagers when they met him, have put him in the category of the very least, a questionable man. That's why it was even more appalling to watch the typically measured, always calculated rap mogul release a statement that was condescending, unself-aware, and smacked of the smug overconfidence of someone who has operated with godlike status for so long that they don't know what the rules even are, let alone that they have to follow them. I want y'all to pay attention. They hit the hammer, they hit the nail on the head. Because isn't that basically what I said in different words? I said Jay-Z, rather than coming out and just instantly denying the allegations and speaking of himself, he went in for the attack on the credibility of Tony Busby, which in my opinion was the wrong thing to do. You see, that's what you do when you feel guilty. That's just my opinion. Okay? That's what you do when you're trying to twist and paint the narrative. You see, if you're an innocent person, now this is just my opinion. If you're an innocent person, you don't have any reason to get all angry like that. Of course, you'll be upset that someone's saying such things. But you say to yourself, I can prove my innocence. Or at the very least, I can cast doubt, or I want them to bring receipts. And if you're innocent, they won't have any receipts. But at the end of the day, I think it was a bad move to try to attack Tony Busby. And then he even attacked the victim, but he did it real subtle. So people didn't really catch it, but he also attacked the victim. He was passive aggressive at that point because what he said was, would you want justice for the true victims? So implying that this person wasn't a victim. But how would he know if they were a victim or not? Because he didn't even know who the person was. And even if he's saying that he didn't do anything to them, well, she's accused Diddy too. So why would he say the true victims as if this person has in fact been victimized? Even if he wasn't the one who did it, she also said Diddy did something to her, Jay-Z. So are you saying that you nor Diddy did anything? I have several questions, but let me continue. So goes on to say that's why it was even more appalling to watch the typically measured, always calculated rap mogul release the statement. Now, for starters, Jay-Z implored the plaintiff to file a criminal suit, not a civil one. A nonsense request when we know just how hard it is to secure a criminal conviction in a case like this, and just how useful the civil courts have been in awarding judgments in favor of victims of old crimes. He also filed a motion to deny the plaintiff's request for anonymity, asking that either she identify herself and that be disclosed or the case be dismissed. Now, this demand that she out herself isn't some attempt to level the playing field in the court of public opinion, like he's suggesting. It's a way to force her into opening herself up to scrutiny. A move that is especially diabolical considering how the world treats women who stand up to their abusers. And Jay-Z, of all people, should know he was instrumental in helping Megan Thee Stallion navigate the hell that she went up against after being shot by Tory Lanez. But the rapper's hostile approach to the accusations doesn't end with his accuser. He is also suing her attorney, Tony Busby, whom he accuses of extortion. Busby has responded accusing Jay-Z of orchestrating a conspiracy of harassment against him and his legal colleagues in an attempt to intimidate and silence his client. Now, when it comes to public response, much of it has been predictably asinine and filled with rap legend Ahmadiyyah. Now, some black men on social media dusted off the Bill Cosby defense playbook, gleeful to be able to call the allegations proof of a conspiracy to bring down one of their own. My biggest problem in all of this is the clown show that S assaults have become. Okay? And this is what radio presenter Ebro Darden said, hedging his defense of Jay-Z as a protection of the gravity of S assault, saying, I don't know why so many people want to see Jay-Z get torn down. It's not that anybody wants to see Jay-Z get torn down. Stop acting like that's what it is. It's the fact that people have heard allegations and rumors about Jay-Z's nefarious behavior for decades, just as we have Diddy's. So now that something's being said out loud and it's being taken into court, we've already had suspicions. It's not like it's out of the blue. It's not like it's unheard of. Anyway, it's disgusting. People love the tear down of somebody successful. This is what Ebro says. I would say in all this, it still takes me back to how upsetting it is that S assault is a game. Now, all of this is to be expected. Jay-Z, arguably the most powerful man in hip-hop, and our misogynistic, celebrity-obsessed culture demands that he have staunch defenders in a moment like this. What I think is more interesting are the ways that Jay-Z has situated himself within white America's establishment, his relationship with the National Football League, the NFL in particular, and what role that will play as this story continues to unfold. For his part, Roger Goodell, the NFL football commissioner, said in a perfunctory statement on Wednesday that the league was aware of the allegations and Jay-Z's really strong response to them, and that their relationship is not changing. There's another haunting but important detail from the lawsuit that much of the news around the allegations has ignored. That another celebrity stood by and watched as Diddy and Jay-Z took turns assaulting a minor. I'm sorry, yes, they're really not talking about that so much, okay? Do they too think it's J-Lo? I have several questions. And now with this man coming out here, a whole legal expert, talking about this person could be a victim too, like miss me with it. It's eerie thinking about just how much that violence is mirrored by the further trauma that victims endure while seeking justice for themselves publicly, violated in front of a captive audience who cares little about their humanity. And while it'll probably be some time before this specific case is worked out in the courts, it is important for victims to know that there are remedies to the codes of silence, misogyny, and harm also that thrive in hip-hop and keep victims trapped in cycles of abuse. Well, that was very well said. And I find no lies detected at all. Now, without further ado, everyone please like and share. Everyone please like and share, because now we're about to talk about Jay-Z and Ramir Sway. Because Liz Crokin did an interview with him. And I want to say his godmother, the woman who helped to raise him, is either his godmother or his grandmother, who helped to raise him after his mother's passing. So I'm going to play the audio. I don't have permission to use this video, even though it's not on YouTube. I'm just going to play some of the audio. I'm not going to play much because this interview is on Rumble, and it has very aggressive ads, just continuous ads. It's just so annoying. Okay.
So basically, in a nutshell, I just believe that was a big part of it. He didn't like the fact that it was in public. There was a time that Mr. Carter was trying to resolve the matter in the very beginning, and he was doing it in the best interest of Ramir. And then somewhere he left his art and started thinking with his head. We don't know exactly what happened, but nonetheless, there was a lot of things that happened over the years, which he should have became aware of, that could have made him have the power to do what he did, to do something about it. Right. And nothing was done. I think the core thing of this thing, not for him, but the people around him, was greed. Right. People wanted to make money. He was like a cash cow to them. Some things he may not have known that was going on, but at the end of the day, he knew something. And these people are the low-end attorneys who were at the bottom, so to speak, trying to do what they were doing.
Do you think part of it is because Wanda was 16?
Yeah, well, definitely that's the big part of it. The allegations that we have, that the affidavit says that Wanda was 16 and he was 22. That's in Wanda's own words.
Right.
So then, yeah, that would be something that would make some people uncomfortable.
Right. Well, it's a crime. But for the record, you did tell me that Wanda told you that she did tell Jay-Z that she was of legal age. Is that true?
Right. She did tell me that she told him she was 18 or something, whatever she told him.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Now, you have told me that you believe that Beyonce may have been one of the reasons why there wasn't a resolution.
I do believe that. Like in the very beginning, they didn't have a daughter, and there was seemed like we were understanding there was complications in getting conceived, etc.
Right.
And I felt like that would make some women, and seem like her, she would fit that uncomfortable about him having a fully grown son with a talent.
Right.
So I do believe that she had a problem. If it was true, she would have a problem with the fact that Ramir was in the picture or coming in the picture, because that was a vulnerable time.
Right.
You can't conceive yourself, or
that's just for any woman. We just talking. For any woman, anybody that that's married, and for someone to just come out of nowhere, we would think that they would have some type of feelings towards it or know something about it.
Well, it depends on the woman.
Right.
Some women are not that insecure. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Whatever. Some women are more vulnerable. It depends on the woman.
Right.
But clearly now, 10 years later, 12 years later, you would think somebody would say, hey, let's just get this out of the way.
Yeah.
Right.
But again, the woman is a big part of...
So I think the whole time we haven't been looking to do no craziness. Everybody can say, you're not looking. We don't be on here. I don't be on here bashing, making a million videos or trying to use crazy name for anything, nothing like that. It's always been the same thing with me. I want to go to court, get a fair due process, and know the truth. That's it.
Absolutely. And you just want to be validated. And I've gone over a bunch of pictures of you, and I've looked at pictures and side by sides of you next to Jay-Z. You look a lot like him. I will say, you look a lot like him. Yeah, show me that beautiful smile. I know that James Batuska with the Daily Mail has done amazing work on your story for 10 years.
Yes.
And he told me that he actually consulted with not only a dentist, but also an expert in genetics. And they both very strongly believed that you indeed are Jay-Z's son. So, we'll put up some pictures, some side-by-sides of you next to Jay-Z, and the audience can decide for themselves. Going back to your mom's age, there's been a lot of rumors over the years that Jay-Z has had sexual relationships with other women when he was an adult and they were minors. There's been alleged rumors about Foxy Brown and some other famous female artists.
At what age was Foxy Brown signed?
I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown.
But
I didn't sign Foxy Brown.
I know you put me in asking the question.
I'm on the block. I'm responsible for everybody.
You the boss.
Yo, don't beat around the bush. Say what you want.
I'm just.
What do you mean by that question?
I was just asking.
What do you insinuate?
I'm not insinuating. I just asked the question.
I
thought Foxy was like 16. That's all I'm saying.
It sounds like
all I'm saying in this industry when we live.
It seems like you got a question for Jay. Ask her. Don't keep asking me questions you don't want to ask him because he ain't here. Ask him. I ain't got shit to do with that, and I don't even know nothing about that. Playing. You my man. I know not with me. When you say that Foxy was 16 when she got signed, why did you say that just now?
When I first was introduced to who Foxy was, I thought there was something between Foxy and Jay.
Oh, you asked Jay. But that's the question you're trying to ask me. What's a funny cat? I ain't know. I forgot you that.
Opinion on that, Dr. Lily?
Well, my opinion on Foxy was that Wanda was before Foxy, and they look a lot alike. So, in my opinion, it seems like that would be his type.
Right.
It was then.
Right.
Because she looks a lot like Wanda Satterwhite. Because Wanda Satterwhite was chocolate, and she was beautiful.
Right. We'll put up a side-by-side of Wanda and Foxy. Now, Foxy has denied that she had a sexual relationship with Jay-Z. So there's that, but there's many people that believe that she did, and I know Wendy Williams has gone on the record saying that she firmly believes that
This was allegedly a romantical thing. It's all right. I'll say alleged, but we know. Yeah, should he hit it before Beyonce?
See, they did have a sexual relationship, and who knows, maybe one day she will have a different version of her story about what really happened between her and Jay.
She's heard that Foxy Brown went deaf and she can't talk like
She's been deaf for a long time.
Right.
They said they've been trying to hide that her speech was messed up now. Like she's really can't even.
It's gotten worse. Yeah, before when she first had the problems like 7 years ago, she was still able to talk and read lips and and everything synced up. But now 8 years later, it's getting off track.
Right.
More physical.
Oh, wow.
How did your mother die? What did she die from, Ramir?
It's a heart attack.
Stenosis. She had a scarlet fever when she was 2 years old. And what happens is over time, that particular scarlet fever does something to your heart. And it takes about 40 years to happen. And that's exactly around the time it happened. She was 43.
Okay. So you don't think that there was any foul play with her death?
I don't want to say that. Honestly, I just want to, let her pass and be, just keep the peaceful thoughts I had, because I honestly wouldn't know. My mom got sick. She was regular, then she was sick, and she was sicker. I know I'm not saying I'm making my own words up right now, but I just seen the process. Then she was fighting. I say she fought it the whole time, but she just got sick out of nowhere. Just for me, when I saw her, she was just perfectly healthy and all that, dancing every day, singing and cooking, and then she wasn't. Then I'm like, well, she had back-to-back heart attacks. I'm like, where did that come from? And she was in she was 30 something then, and so I'm like,
she was 38 when it first happened.
She having 2-3 heart attacks back to back, and she fought through all them joints. Then
she died about 4 years ago.
Just been happening. Like she was fighting heart attacks. Like I just seen it, like out of nowhere, out of different locations we was going at throughout these years. My mom just was a fighter. Even when we take out to eat, sometimes she'd be weak and still go out with us. Cheesecake factories and but she was a fighter the whole time there. Mom had a heart attack in the Cheesecake Factory. She fought right.
We love Cheesecake Factory.
It just was just like we just got sick out of nowhere. But I say that she fought to spend her time with us, and I really appreciated that.
Well, she sounds like she was an absolutely amazing, strong woman, and I can tell she was a great mother because she did a great job raising you. I'm interested in both of your opinions of all the revelations coming out with Jay-Z's pal Diddy, the sex trafficking, crimes, the alleged murders, the blackmail. What are your thoughts on that?
It's about to be a crazy trip. I don't know. We don't fully know what happened on the Jay-Z, Diddy, and them know what happened. But honestly, people say that when you're a star for that long and have that much money, I guess you get bored, or I fully wouldn't know. I never had that much money in my life, but I have billions and millions of dollars, so it wouldn't be out of my mind that they could have did some of them things, but I honestly wouldn't know. But I can say that they're going to find out. It's going to be a crazy trip for them, so hopefully they didn't, and hopefully, half of the stuff these people saying about them didn't happen. But if it did, honestly, then you deserve whatever you get with it.
Right. Dr. Lily, what's your opinion?
You reap what you sow.
Right.
It's unfortunate that your lifestyle, if you're not grounded and rooted in God, and you don't have a purpose and a plan, it's sometimes very hard for you to know what to do with your money.
Right.
That's why I always talk to my godson about money, the value of money, and having money not be making you, but you make the money. Right. So at the end of the day, if you don't have a purpose and a plan, in my opinion, that's grounded and rooted in God, you will find yourself all over the place. So I just think all of this is you reaping what you sowed, and I'm going to sit back and watch it because I know God is going to take care of us. I know justice is going to be served, and I know all the things that God spoke to us regarding our stuff is going to come to pass. And if somebody has done something they shouldn't have done, then they need. If you don't want to do the time, you can't do the crime.
Right.
So that 3-tier justice system is a no-brainer once you start doing all this stuff, because the fact is you can't escape the law.
Right.
Where you going?
Right.
You can't go nowhere. So at the end of the day, if you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime.
Right. Have you guys ever met with any law enforcement about your story? Or did your mom ever meet with any law enforcement? Or have you been contacted by any law enforcement?
No, we met with law enforcement as far as we didn't know. Every like far as things that we felt that we should go and get on record, we make sure we go there and tell them about everything that's going on. We feel like somebody, doing the wrong things around our neighborhood or coming on our properties that never happened before, we'll let them know. So yeah, we make sure we let them know when we need to. So other than that, but we're really good on paperwork. As far as guidelines, we be up on community for that, because you do be up on all that as far as paperwork and anything that's going wrong, or if you got a wrong type of feeling. So we make sure we document everything. That's the great thing about it.
Everything has been documented. My brother was officer in Philadelphia. We've been followed.
Yep.
He had to go to the police about several things. There's people, like he said, came into the property. Someone knocked on Ramir's window. They wanted Ramir to drop the case. This was back early on. There's been a lot of what they call intimidation.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it didn't mean anything because they all went away. The attorneys is the ones who's really doing it. Yeah, because they're the ones in trouble.
Right.
So they're the ones trying to stop the trouble.
Online really played a position with that too, so we really wouldn't know who was it, but by them putting our location, like where we was actually at, some of the houses we had, they put it actually online, so I guess people they found it and whatever happened, or they got son there, but we don't know, and that's just, it never happened before. That's all we saying.
Right. Yeah, well, I don't believe in coincidences, and I deal with the same kind of intimidation tactics myself. So
exactly
what you're talking about, and to my audience, again, this stuff is very real. Right. And I know that, Jason has dealt with intimidation tactics as well for simply covering your story with the Daily Mail. And at the end of the day, if Jay-Z is not your father, then just take the damn paternity test. It's been years. Get it over with. If you're so innocent, take the test so everybody can move on. But the fact that they've been stringing you along, there's been so much corruption, and there's these apparent intimidation tactics, and they're going after your money and your homes, is absolutely absurd. And in my opinion, it just makes him and the other parties involved with his legal team and people in the judicial system all look very guilty.
The judges too, because we did the attorney misconduct, we did the judicial stuff, all the stuff to say what happened to us in the court.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing is the civil rights. Because quite frankly, I don't care about none of the other stuff. All I care about is what the judges are doing. Hold on, Ramir, and the attorneys, the judges and the attorneys. And then the fact that I want to go do a civil rights violation against those people, mainly the judges. A black judge who's over it didn't do anything. And it was a black judge who started some of the stuff that we had to deal with. So my biggest problem is civil rights. And the civil rights was not done by the attorneys or the client. It was done by the judges.
Right.
That's my problem. Because to me, that's a big deal. And then, of course, the reason why they did that is to block the other stuff.
Right. Dr. Lily, you also mentioned to me when we talked that you believe that some of Beyonce's friends and or family members have contacted you via social media.
There was persons from Mr. Carter's family who contacted us through Twitter about Ramir, asking for him to drop the case and to stop doing stuff with the case because Jay likes people disloyal. And for him to do this, it doesn't look good. And if he wants some resolution, he needs to stop, make this case go away. The Beyonce thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp, and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay, about regarding saying Ramir needs to go away little boy, something to that effect. There was something out there with the song they made. And then next thing I know, somebody was at my property. Somebody came to my property in the evening time and had a conversation about trying to get in through the back door. I heard them.
So the lyric in her song, do you remember the name of the song?
I don't. So there was 2 songs. One, Ramir, help me with this.
I think one is Heard About Us.
Because they also claim that Jay-Z and Beyonce were clowning Ramir in their songs. Okay, can you all imagine? This is all so sad.
That was the one that you and Jay-Z went back on. He said something for the 99th time, the kid ain't mine, or something like that.
Okay, so I'm not going to play that, but clearly you all hear this stuff and they're alleging that there was also threats and intimidation, people knocking on windows and all kinds of craziness. Some of the same things that Tony Busby has said that has happened to him and his family, okay? So, and I'm not surprised, and I absolutely believe it. I absolutely believe it. Claudette said low down. Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, with that all being said, Rhea said one is about Kathy White. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised at all. So that all being said, and also at some point in the video, let me see if I can find the timestamp real quick. Hold on.
Which is not.
You know, they'll say y'all try to I'm dropping stuff or our groups. I don't
Giving out papers. Can't tell them what
they think we doing is they can put me on a lie detector test.
Even if you gave out papers, the papers belong to you.
Really
you can
not.
print out any papers you want. So even if you did, it's not a problem because unless there's a gag order saying don't do this and don't do that, then this don't mean anything. We have the right and the freedom to speak, and you have you own your own documents. I own my documents.
Right.
You can tell me what I can do with it. Now, if you want to be in a jury and someone else is going on with the case, which it ain't, if it was, then you need to put it in writing, which a judge would do. Sometimes a jury is sequestered. They are put aside in places, and sometimes other things happen. Not in this case here. We never even got to a jury. We never got to the discovery. So what's the problem?
Right, exactly.
So, nobody's going to do nothing. You can do whatever you want with your files, and you can say whatever you want because this is freedom of speech. But that's the main gist of the district court case because it was not something they were able to, first of all, say that we couldn't do, and because they knew it was unconstitutional.
Right, that's one thing.
They would never put it in writing. It's just in their head. So at the end of the day, you're not going to tell anybody what they can do with their own files, with their own mouth. That's not going to happen, right?
Honestly, I just want the people to know that we really in here, we fight, and this is something we really take serious. And we just want y'all to support us for us. Like, we're very cool people. I'm a very social person. I love everybody. I don't have a hate for no one. Like, even through all this, I don't hate no one. So I just want y'all to know this ain't no chasing no money or chasing the fame or anything. We don't. People can say what they want. You think we're gonna get money after this? We haven't got anything from no one. 20 years, like So
you have, and you just want to know who your dad is, and you have every right to know who your father is. Dr. Lily, why do you think that it seemed that Jay-Z via his people were willing to work something out behind the scenes, and then all of a sudden that stopped? Why do you think that he is refusing to take a paternity test and stopped, working with you all behind the scenes? What was driving that, in your opinion?
Well, part of it was a rumor that we was told that he didn't like the fact that this particular case was in the public. And he had a problem with Ramir putting it in the public, which was not Ramir, was his mother. It kind of got leaked out. So he didn't like that.
I did this. I didn't. That's why. Can I spill my little 2 cents on it? People, I did not. I'm going to support my mom until I pass, and even after that. So I didn't bring this up. I didn't bring this to court. This was all. My mom started this.
Right.
To support her, and I'm always going to be there to support her, which I think everyone should do for their parents. And there's no problem with that.
So basically, in a nutshell, I just believe that was a big part of it. He didn't like the fact that it was in public. There was a time that Mr. Carter was trying to resolve the matter in the very beginning, and he was doing it in the best interest of Ramir. And then somewhere he left his art and started thinking with his head. We don't know exactly what happened. Yeah, nonetheless, there was a lot of things that happened.
Well,
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there, guys. I'm going to stop right there because I was trying to get to a specific part where she said something about Liz was saying something about allegedly saying something about Jay-Z. I'm pretty sure she was talking about Jay-Z, if I'm not mistaken, took somebody across state lines. Okay? Took somebody across state lines when they were minor. And I thought she was talking about the mother. But hold on. Hold on, you guys. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, we're almost out of here because I have to come back later with another video. That's why I wanted to get this one done and out of the way early. I'm looking for her write-up. Hold on. I'm looking for her write-up. I just had it pulled up. Hold on just a second. While I'm digging for this, let me let you guys have Lisa Jackson says he's going to need that young man sooner than he thinks. You know, that's a good point. He just might, beloved. And it's really sad and unfortunate because the young man does look a lot like him. I mean, that he really looks like him. Okay. I'm sorry. Very much so. At the end of the day, it's got to be really sad for him to not be able to get to know his father or anything. And now he's lost his mother. Oh, but hold on. I forgot to play this video for you guys. Let me let you all hear this what Jazz O said about Jay-Z. Now, I played this about a couple of years ago when Jazz O was saying something about Jay-Z letting people play with his back door and all that stuff. Okay, I'm going to play that while I'm looking for what Liz wrote.
Jay Beans? Jay and Beans? Yeah. Yo, all that's eventual. All I got to tell y'all is I told y'all in 2002, and y'all ain't believe me. I told y'all that nigga was a crab, and y'all ain't believe me. You know what I'm saying? How many accounts got to come up? Dame, Biggs, R. Kelly, Kiss, Beans. I mean, the list go on. That nigga's a crab. It ain't no hate involved, but you know, you gonna see. He's still biting my style. Jazz O's the best. Secret Society with Jay-Z, man. He's involved, but he's involved with this shit, man. He involved with that play shit. Like, see, people don't understand the science behind Satan, Lucifer, and God. And if you notice, he calls himself Jehovah or Hove. And before they started retranslating, you know, the New American version of the Bible, you know, Jehovah was known as a jealous God in the Bible. But I'm gonna give people the simple and general overstanding that all of those people, many of those prophets in the Bible, and even when you talk about these different deities in the Bible, they were not people. Even when you go into the Egyptian pantheon, like, they weren't people. But as far as Homeboy, like, it's really a bunch of Masons. See, the whole Freemason thing is based on a lower level of understanding. Like, the real secrets have never been revealed. They weren't supposed to be revealed. So all these people, they walking around like they know something for real, but they don't really know shit. You know, and he doing those little signs and all of that. Those are symbols that have been out there. They've been propagating them shits for a few thousand years. Number one, anybody who knows how magic knows that those shits don't have any power anymore. Number two, you know, everybody knows what they basically mean, like the understanding of it. Like, you know, as far as the pyramid and stuff like that I'm not really gonna go into. But I'm saying that simply to say that dude think he knows shit, but he still don't know shit. He could get as many degrees as he want, but it's just like trying to get all degrees you want, but you still got a ceiling. He can't go but so high because the people that he worshiping, that he kissing their ass and letting them fill him up and shit, they don't know shit. They trying to find out every day from us. That's why they follow hip hop. That's why they follow the blues. That's why they follow soul. That nigga's nothing. That's my son, unfortunately. Jay Beans?
All right, y'all heard that. Lisa Jackson, thank you for your insight into the topic, beloved, and also for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Okay, so y'all heard that. He said Jay-Z was letting people fill him up, honey. I mean, I don't know how true that is, but at the end of the day, it all sounds nefarious. And my thing is, when you're getting to certain levels and dealing with devils, well, you got to give a little something, something to get a little something. That's all I'm saying. And that's just facts on facts on facts. Now, as far as to what he was given, I haven't a clue. Okay, but I have an idea as to what I believe. All right, so, and I want you all to think about many of these people who have been engaging with Marina Abramovich are some of the same people getting called out right now. Okay, are some of the same people getting called out right now, not just Jay-Z, not just Jay-Z. So anyway, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Everyone, please like and share. Hold on. Dang it, I just saw it. I keep scrolling past it. Okay, here we go. I was trying to read you all what Liz had written. Hold on. Okay, so here it is. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Hold on, let me take some of this stuff off the screen. Okay. Liz says, I have interviewed Ramir Sway and his godmother, Dr. Lily Colley, about their claims that Ramir is Jay-Z's biological son. They've been fighting in the court in multiple states for years to get Jay-Z to take a paternity test. Now they're fighting to expose the corrupt legal system that they believe has been rigged to prevent them from getting fair due process. Ramir says that he does not want money, he just wants validation and justice. Okay, and here are some of the highlights. She says, so Jay-Z allegedly had sex with Ramir's mom, Wanda Satterwhite, when she was 16 and he was 22. Wanda sadly passed away years ago. Jay-Z allegedly took Wanda across state lines when she was a minor from Philadelphia to an apartment in Brooklyn. That's the part of the interview I was trying to get to, but I forgot the timestamp. Sorry, guys. But she did write this on her social media. So she says that he allegedly took Wanda across state lines when she was a minor from Philadelphia to an apartment in Brooklyn, okay, where they had intercourse. Jay-Z's lawyers lied in court and they claim they misspoke. No, you lied. Okay, this is what they do. This is what they do. Oh, I misspoke. Oh, it was misinformation. No, you lied. It's what you did. Okay, this is what rich people and these attorneys do when they get caught in lies. Now, Jay-Z has refuted these claims in court despite allegedly trying to settle this outside of the court long ago. Jay-Z has refused to take paternity tests for years. Ramir and Dr. Lily claim intimidation tactics have been used against them for years. Ramir said that he was shot. Said he was shot at. Did y'all know about this? Listen to this. Ramir says he was shot at after he filed a civil suit against Jay-Z. Dr. Lily believes that Beyonce played a key role in persuading Jay-Z from acknowledging Ramir and settling the case. Beyonce and Jay-Z have cruelly mocked Ramir, or they may have cruelly mocked Ramir in their music. This is all nefarious. Honey, shot at? I didn't even know that part. Y'all hear this? Now, let me just say, it doesn't mean that Jay-Z or anyone that Jay-Z knew shot at him, but I just found it all interesting that after he filed the lawsuit, somebody shoots at him. Are y'all listening? This is all crazy, honey. Okay, now Grumpy Knuckles says, just so you know, this is OG Element from the Flatland, Vernon and Crenshaw. E-Rule the big homie. We support you. 60s knew about these guys. Well, thank you, beloved. I appreciate you all support. Okay, thank you kindly, and thank you for your insight to the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, this is all so crazy. You all, please do me a favor before you leave, if you haven't done so already. Be sure to hit the like. Be sure to hit the like. That lets the video get more engagement. If y'all want me to keep bringing these receipts, then y'all please hit that like, okay? I want y'all to make sure you hit the like. All right. So with that all being said, I will be back later. Miss J said, I remember him being shot at about a year ago. Wow, I had no idea. Okay, Claudette said, I heard him say that in another interview. Wow, this is always so sad. This young man has been through a lot. And then for his mother to just get sick out of the blue and pass away. Yeah, it's very sad indeed. It is very sad indeed. Well, I hope that someday he gets answers to his questions. Okay. Thank you, Vita, for your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so listen, you guys, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Don't forget to turn your notifications on, because I will be back probably around 5 or 6, I believe. And, If anything pops off before then, I'll be back before then, just so you know. Okay, so but until the next time, beloveds, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause